Bradley Martyn calls out Logan Paul to an MMA fight.
I want to fight Logan in an MMA fight so bad, dude. I want it to happen.
Logan?
Yeah.
I think you got that, actually.
I'd love to do that.
Now who actually will win this fight? Let's look at their latest performances in which we have seen Bradley Martyn wrestle multiple people, but let's talk about the more important ones in which he fought Nell Boy's security guard, in which he got completely embarrassed. Then he went on to fight a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, in which he also got embarrassed. Now let's talk about his skills in actual boxing, in which he fought Sneeko, in which he completely embarrassed him. But this fight was not fair, just due to the fact that the weight wasn't there. But he did drop Sneeko. Now let's talk about Logan Paul's boxing skills, in which he's not good at. As we've seen in his latest performance against Dylan Dennis, there was no technique in his punches and his footwork was trash. Now let's talk about his wrestling, in which his wrestling is great. He looked great up against Paulo Costa, in which he gave him some problems, and then he went on to wrestle Israel Adesanya, in which again he looked great and actually put on a great challenge for Israel Adesanya.
Now, I understand why Bradley Martyn seems so confident when talking about beating anybody, even when it comes to somebody who's so skilled and experienced like Devin Haney, and that's simply because his size. His size is what drives his ego to sometimes even be delusional. But at the same time, if you're 6'3" with crazy strength and have a bit of fighting knowledge, then obviously you wouldn't be scared to test your abilities against anybody. So I do think that he sees a close and very entertaining match between him and Logan, since it's safe to say that him and Logan are actually on a very similar level when it comes to wrestling. Now, I say that they're on the same level because from what we have seen, for example, Logan Paul training with Volkanovski and Israel Adesanya, it looks like he could hang around even with the best. But Bradley Martyn, again, he also looks pretty good in his fighting footages, but at the end, it looks like he doesn't do so well when he's fighting somebody who's his size and actually know what they're doing. But in the end, who wins this MMA match? Well, it has to be Logan Paul because yes, it's hard to tell who's really more skilled than another, but at the same time, Logan Paul knows what it's like to be in a big fight with many rounds and has actually trained both wrestling and boxing, while Bradley Martyn may have the size advantage that actually might be his downfall in this fight because he might not be able to endure that many rounds in a real fight since he's never had the experience.